Imagine an 80,000-pound truck accelerating like a sports car. It sounds like something out of science fiction, but that's exactly what Tesla intends to deliver with the Semi. Since its initial announcement, the project has attracted attention, not only for its futuristic design, but for Elon Musk's boldness in wanting to reinvent heavy-duty transportation. Many people turned up their noses, including figures like Bill Gates, who considered the use of batteries in such robust vehicles unfeasible. But if there's one thing Tesla loves to do, it's prove the skeptics wrong. The Semi won't be just another electric truck. It will be the first Class 8 to promise a range of up to 800 miles and superlative performance. Tesla will have to make a big bet to turn this colossus into a true game-changer. The proposal is simple but ambitious. Create an electric truck that not only works, but that surpasses diesel models in every way: cost, maintenance, performance, and, most importantly, range. Unlike other attempts on the market, which have been restricted to short routes, the Semi will aim to cross entire states on a single charge. Elon Musk has already predicted that the model will save more than 1 million gallons of diesel over time. This savings, translated into dollars, could exceed $3.5 million per unit. With that in mind, it won't be surprising if the Semi earns the nickname Money Machine. It's not just marketing, it's math. If a truck can operate with reduced energy costs, minimal maintenance, and still deliver reliability, it will become the logical choice for companies with large fleets. And that's exactly the kind of logic that Elon Musk intends to explore. It won't just be a pretty product, it will be a tool designed for maximum productivity. A truck that won't sit idle in the shop, won't rely on expensive fuel, and will still deliver plenty of power on the road. The model will be equipped with independent electric motors on each wheel, which will allow for surprising acceleration even with a full load. Musk has promised that the Semi will be able to reach 0 to 60 mph in 20 seconds, even with the maximum permitted weight. And without a load? Then the performance will be even more impressive, to the point of leaving any truck driver open-mouthed. If this is confirmed in practice, it will not be an exaggeration to say that the Semi will redefine the concept of power on the road. Without noise, without smoke, and with instant torque. But what will perhaps draw the most attention will be the autonomy. The promises speak of up to 800 miles on a single charge, something simply unheard of. To give you an idea, this would be enough to cross entire states without stopping, something unthinkable for electric trucks until now. This autonomy will be the trump card that could convince even the most conservative of fleet owners to rethink their concepts. After all, with this autonomy, the Semi will not depend on heavy charging infrastructure on every corner. It will be born ready for long journeys, and the visual impact the truck will have on the roads cannot be ignored. With its minimalist design, central cabin, and refined aerodynamics, the Semi will be unlike anything else seen in the heavy-duty transportation sector. It will be a showcase on wheels, a symbol of modernity amid a sea of conventional trucks. This alone will attract companies interested not only in performance, but also in reinforcing their image of innovation and sustainability. Tesla's Semi production is set to enter a new phase in the coming months, one that promises to be a game-changer. After years of promises and delays, Tesla is finally ready to scale its manufacturing like never before. It's all thanks to Giga Nevada, a megastructure that will total more than 9 million square feet of space. That number may seem abstract, but in practice, it represents the real possibility of putting tens of thousands of electric trucks on the road every year. The idea of assembling an electric truck every 10 minutes may sound absurd today, but Tesla has already proven with the Model Y that extreme productivity is not a pipe dream. It's a matter of engineering and persistence. The new plant won't just be big, it will be extremely efficient. The idea is to set up multiple semi-production lines at the same time, all integrated with local battery manufacturing. This will eliminate logistical delays, shorten lead times, and give Tesla full control over the truck's production chain. What once seemed impossible, manufacturing 50,000 electric Class 8s per year, will now start to take on much more concrete dimensions. And when Elon Musk talks about ambitious goals, history shows that it's best to take them seriously. The goal of assembling 10,000 units this year will already be a clear sign that Tesla is prepared to deliver at scale. This number, which could scare any traditional competitor, will only be the beginning. By 2026, the forecast will be 50,000 units per year, and who knows, even more. Of course, all of this will depend on factors such as demand, supply of raw materials, and assembly capacity, but if there is a company with the courage to accelerate against all odds, it is Tesla. It has already done this with electric cars. Now, the challenge will be to repeat the feat with cargo vehicles. One of the biggest advantages will be the verticalization of production. With battery manufacturing taking place in the same location, trucks will come off the assembly line practically ready to go. This could reduce not only the time, but also the costs involved in each unit. There will no longer be dependence on other factories or long journeys of components from one continent to another. Everything will be faster, cleaner, and more efficient. And, of course, more aligned with the company's sustainable vision. A factory that thinks big doesn't just benefit Tesla. It serves as a model for the entire industry. There's also the human factor. With over 4 million additional square feet of space added to the existing Nevada facility, the new factory will be able to employ thousands of workers. This will not only strengthen Tesla's presence in the region, but also demonstrate that technology and job creation can go hand in hand. If implemented well, this expansion will become a global benchmark for how to build a state-of-the-art production facility that has a positive impact on the local economy. And let's face it, who wouldn't want to be part of the team building the most audacious truck on the planet? But none of this would be possible without a new heart beating inside the truck, the battery. And this is where Tesla will take another bold step by retiring the already known 2170 cells in favor of a new type that is even lighter, more efficient, and cheaper to produce. This battery, known only as HV, promises to be a quiet game changer. It is expected to bring a 7% efficiency gain, which, for a large truck, represents a gigantic leap. The magic lies in the fact that, even with less stored energy, the Semi will maintain the same range, up to 800 miles, thanks to improvements in engineering and in the way the energy will be used. This technology transition won't happen by accident. Tesla will already be testing the new cell in prototypes, refining every detail before putting it into mass production. And the most intriguing thing is that the new battery will not only be more efficient, but it will also be cheaper to manufacture. This will break down one of the biggest barriers to electric mobility: cost. By being able to reduce the price without sacrificing range or performance, Tesla will be able to further expand access to the Semi and, by extension, accelerate its global adoption. The savings will come from all sides, including weight, fewer cells, less mass, less effort to move the truck. An interesting fact is that this change will also make the Semi more agile. With less weight on its back, the truck will respond better, consume less, and have more stable performance on different terrains. And this without sacrificing robustness. The idea is not to create a fragile truck, but rather a silent monster with Formula One engineering and the soul of a titan. The new HV battery, although still shrouded in mystery, could be the secret that makes this vision possible. A technical detail that, in practice, will change everything, from the production line to the asphalt. It's curious to think that while everyone was talking about the famous 4680s, those miracle cells that promised to dominate Tesla's vehicles, the Semi could follow its own path. Although many bet that it would be the largest consumer of the 4680s, the company seems to prefer to leave them for another project, the Cybertruck. This shows how each vehicle will have a customized solution, a surgical approach to each challenge. It won't be a one-size-fits-all solution. It will be the right battery for the right truck, at the right time. A clear sign of technological maturity. The decision will also show that Tesla is not concerned with hype, but with results. If the new HV package is cheaper, lighter, and still has 800 miles of range, there will be no point in sticking with the 4680 just because it is more famous. Tesla will play with what it has most effective, even if that means going against public or market expectations. It is like a good chef who swaps one ingredient for a simpler one and still delivers a better dish. Results are what counts. And Elon Musk seems to know this better than anyone. Now that the Tesla Semi's battery is already making history, the impact of this technology will become even more evident when the numbers start to hit companies' pockets. And here comes the point that every manager loves to hear: real savings. Data collected by major customers such as PepsiCo, Walmart, and DHL indicate that the Semi will consume on average only 1.7 kilowatt per mile. Translating this into money, with the current cost of electricity in California, each mile driven will cost about 30 cents. In contrast, a diesel truck consumes approximately 1 gallon every 6.5 miles, which comes to more than 50 cents per mile. Sounds like a small amount? Now multiply that by hundreds of thousands of miles driven throughout the year. This difference, which at first glance seems discrete, represents a veritable avalanche of savings when analyzed in volume. A single Tesla Semi could save up to $3.5 million in fuel over its lifetime, according to Tesla's own estimates. And these savings will come even with a fleet that is still small, with only about 400 units in circulation at the moment. If the results are already impressive on a small scale, imagine what will happen when thousands of these trucks are on the road every day in the United States and around the world. And it doesn't stop there. Maintenance will be another advantage of the Semi. With an electric propulsion system that eliminates the need for a combustion engine, exhaust, transmission, and hundreds of other moving parts, the truck will require fewer visits to the repair shop. Tesla estimates that maintenance costs will be just 10 cents per mile. A regular diesel truck, on the other hand, can cost twice that amount. In 5 years, this difference could also add up to tens of thousands of dollars in favor of the Semi, not to mention the time saved by not having the truck down for maintenance. Another detail that usually weighs heavily, literally, is component wear. In diesel vehicles, constant changes of oil, filters, pads, belts, gaskets, and hoses are almost routine. Each visit to the garage is an opportunity for a new expense. In the Semi, all of this will disappear. No oil, no filters, no exhaust, no strange noises coming from turbines or connecting rods about to break. Maintenance will be more predictable, cheaper, and less traumatic. The electric truck will start to look almost like a cargo bike in terms of simplicity. Now think about companies that operate dozens or hundreds of trucks. Every penny per mile translates into rivers of money at the end of the month. Plus, less maintenance means more trucks in operation, and less downtime translates into more deliveries, more efficiency, and fewer delays. This ripple effect goes far beyond the workshop. It changes logistics, optimizes deadlines, and even allows for more freedom in rerouting. And it all starts with a simple calculation of energy versus diesel. But if the economics are already attractive in themselves, what comes next could be even more revolutionary. The Tesla Semi is about to receive the fully autonomous driving feature, the famous full self-driving, FSD. Elon Musk has confirmed several times that this technology will be integrated into the truck in the very near future, perhaps even during the first years of its mass production. And this could solve a huge problem in the logistics industry: the lack of drivers. Currently, the sector is suffering from the abandonment of the profession. Long hours, constant pressure, little rest, and physical exhaustion are making fewer and fewer people interested in driving trucks. The idea will be simple, but ambitious: to allow the semi to drive long distances autonomously, with the driver present only to intervene in more complex situations. This will mean shorter journeys, with less effort and less risk of human error, especially on roads where the route is more predictable. The truck will be able to drive alone for hours, maintaining the route, controlling speed, and even anticipating braking. Of course, the driver will still be essential in many moments, but the physical and mental stress of the job should drop drastically. And it's not just about comfort. Automation will make transportation safer. Many truck accidents are caused by fatigue, distraction, or human error, something Tesla's system could help drastically reduce. A truck that is never distracted, never tired, and is connected to a real-time intelligence system that analyzes every inch of the road will have a better chance of keeping its cargo and lives safe. It will completely change the perception of what it's like to drive an 80,000-pound vehicle at 60 mph. Elon Musk often says that automation will be vital to ensuring the future of global logistics, in a scenario where demand for transportation is only growing, but the number of drivers is decreasing. Autonomous trucks will be more than an innovation. They will be a logistical necessity. And with the Semi, Tesla wants to be the first to offer a real and scalable solution. It is as if the truck stopped being just a vehicle and became a complete logistics operator on wheels, always attentive, always available, always ready to roll. Furthermore, full self-driving should allow for something even more interesting: continuous routes without stopping. Today, trucks must comply with a series of regulations regarding driver rest periods. With the Semi operating in autonomous mode, it will be possible to travel long distances without interruptions, while the driver rests, reviews routes, or simply monitors the system. This will open up space for faster deliveries, better use of fleets, and even a reduction in the number of trucks needed to meet the same demand. If it's already mind-boggling to imagine an 80,000-pound truck driving down the road on its own, what about its raw performance? Because the Tesla Semi won't just be efficient and smart, it'll be as strong as a bull and as nimble as a cat. One of Tesla's boldest promises is that the Semi will be able to climb 10% grades at 60 mph with a full load. Anyone who knows anything about heavy-duty trucking knows how absurd that number is. Traditional trucks can tackle these types of grades at 30 mph, often in low gear and blowing smoke. The Semi, on the other hand, will climb them smoothly and quietly, without losing any power. And this will be a direct result of its refined aerodynamics. Tesla knows that every curve, every angle, and every detail of the body impacts energy consumption. That's why the Semi will feature a design that is designed to cut through the air more efficiently than any other truck in its class. Its drag coefficient is expected to be just 0.4, practically the same as a sports car. While traditional trucks have coefficients above 0.8, the Semi will move as if it were gliding through the air. And that will make all the difference on the road, especially when the goal is to save every kilowatt of battery. And there's more. The Semi's cabin will be centered, something unprecedented for a truck of this size. This won't just be an aesthetic choice. The driver's position will offer better visibility, more comfort, and a wider field of vision, ideal for maneuvering in urban or port environments. And to top it all off, the model will include drop glass, a lower side window that will allow a better view of the curb height and pedestrians next to the truck. A small detail that, in everyday life, could prevent many accidents and make truck drivers more confident in controlling the machine. Mirrors will also undergo a revolution. Forget those heavy rear-view mirrors that create wind resistance and hinder visibility on rainy days. The Semi will adopt redesigned mirrors, thinner, with a better angle, and even support for cameras, which will make overtaking, cornering, and parking safer. It's as if the truck had intelligent eyes on all sides, making driving more precise and less tiring. For those who spend hours behind the wheel, this difference will be much more valuable than any engine power. And speaking of comfort, The interior of the Semi will be a spectacle in itself. The cabin will feature high-quality materials, digital screens with all the vehicle's data, ergonomic space, and even a high-fidelity sound system. All of this is designed to make the driving experience something pleasant, almost like being in a Tesla Model S, but in a giant version. It is this attention to detail that should win over not only companies, but also drivers themselves, who will see the Semi not just as a work tool, but as a high-standard environment on wheels. While the Tesla Semi's performance will already seem out of this world, the environmental impact it will cause, or rather avoid causing, will be even more impressive. Just to give you an idea, every million gallons of diesel saved will mean a reduction of 22,400 tons of CO2 in the atmosphere. And Elon Musk has made it very clear, although trucks represent only 1% of the vehicle fleet in the United States, they are responsible for 18% of greenhouse gas emissions. This means that attacking this 1% is like hitting directly at the heart of pollution in the transportation sector. Tesla aims to make the Semi a key player in the fight against climate change. With its clean technology, it will stop emitting tons of pollutants into the atmosphere over its lifetime. And more than that, it could inspire a whole new generation of trucks to follow suit. Imagine a highway where, instead of black smoke and engine noise, there is silence, fluidity, and efficiency. This transformation won't come just from passenger cars. It will come from the giants of the road, starting with this one. And of course, global expansion will be one of the most ambitious goals for the Semi. Tesla has already expressed interest in taking the truck to markets such as Europe, Australia, and Latin America. However, the path will not always be easy. In countries such as Australia, for example, regulations on truck size will not yet allow the Semi to be approved for use on highways. This will create a regulatory challenge that Tesla will certainly try to overcome through negotiations and technical adaptations. After all, where there is a market, there is movement. These regulatory obstacles should not discourage Elon Musk. Quite the contrary. He has already faced similar challenges with the first Model S and X in conservative markets, and managed to gain space with persistence and strategy. The same should happen with the Semi. Once it proves its efficiency and safety in the United States, it will be much easier to convince international agencies to relax their regulations. Even more so when the economic and environmental impact data begin to speak for themselves. From an economic perspective, the Semi will also be a great opportunity for companies looking to reduce their carbon footprint and improve their public image. In times of pressure for ESG practices, a 100% electric truck will almost be a requirement for big brands that want to stay relevant. Imagine a supermarket announcing that its entire supply chain is made up of electric vehicles. The appeal to consumers will be huge, and Tesla knows this very well.